Well, hey, how y'all doing out there today? And good morning. This morning, I want to talk to y'all about this beautiful corkscrew willow tree back here behind me, and all the willow trees. Just a beautiful tree. It's called a corkscrew willow because you see the leaves. These are some little ones right here. Uh, I'm bringing this to your attention today because y'all, this is one of the best and probably most unspoken of and oldest painkillers out there. It's the original aspirin. It's where they got the actual ingredients for aspirin from to begin with. And it's also an amazing blood thinner. And it even has a little special surprise I'll tell you about at the end of this. But the willow trees can be, their bark can be used for teas or a tincture. The tea basically is used with the dry bark, and the tincture is made with grain alcohol and fresh bark. I like using dry bark for my tea because that just makes better teas. But I have drank it green before. And what you do is you try to find the youngest leaves and limbs possible, and you would take your sharp knife, and you would just scrape it off in that manner. You don't want to get the older dry bark from the trunks. That's, you can see it up there. That actually looks kind of like an ironwood, don't it? But instead, you want to get it where the sap is the best and the thickest, which would be in the younger leaves and stems. That's why a lot of people like to get their bark and harvest it. I never cut off a limb to harvest. I just shave it off here and there. I only do a couple teas a week for my blood clots. I have bad blood clots, and if y'all remember, when I was on the Appalachian Trail, I'd been about 4 or 5 weeks since I had a nice tea of willow bark tea for my blood clots. I don't use my man-made blood thinners. Those things make you feel like you're plastic. They about killed me one time, but yeah, I didn't have it. A blood clot got behind my arm, and I had to use alcohol. And that's what I want to say. That tree right there, combined with wild lettuce and even cannabis, you would never need pain pills again. Most people take pain pills because doctors prescribe them to you, or pain pill alternatives or all that stuff because the doctor prescribed it to you. You're wanting to get rid of pain. The first thing about pain is you have it. It's going to be there. You can only alleviate it and learn to live with it. Learn to control it. Learn to make it your friend, not your enemy, and work with it. I use a combination of activities, natural remedies, and just not thinking about it and doing the best I can. But it took a decade to get here, y'all. It took 2 decades to get to where I am now. It took a decade of taking man's meds to realize that didn't work. So watch the pain pills. Look at the combinations of the natural things. Now, the other little surprise about the willow bark tea and the willow bark, well, not the tincture, but the willow bark tea for sure, is that it's probably the best, and you dads, y'all listen up, it's probably the best anti-aphrodisiac out there. I used to be thinking, Bill, why would I want an anti-aphrodisiac? I love the ladies, I love the men, I love loving. I don't, well, hey, there's a time and place for everything. Sometimes you need to be focused, sometimes you need to be thinking. Sometimes that daughter might be going out on that first date, and you go on and drink you a nice little add some willow bark tea to your sweet tea, and drink a glass of tea with that boy. And you might maybe not have to be worrying about that little girl so much. So there you go. That's just one of the side effects from it. It does work with the blood like that. It does thin the blood, and that's also where I'm going to give a little bit of a warning here. I do things out here in the natural world that have taken me completely off man-made medications. I use none. I have no need for them, no purpose for them. I have had some swelling in my joints where I would use an ibuprofen. Well, this is an anti-inflammatory as well, one of the best anti-inflammatories. So when I have it around, I would use natural means. But everything that I use, my body is used to it. I built up in small doses and worked to a good dose for myself for whatever I needed. I don't drink teas every day. I don't drink willow bark tea every day. As a matter of fact, at the most, I'll drink it once or twice a week, especially depending on the time of the year. In the spring, I'll only drink 1 a week. That's all you need. So be careful. Research what you're taking, and know your body and what you're getting the ailment for. Start in small amounts and work your way into what works best for you. Always research and always consult botanists and medicinal medicine people. naturally medicinal plant people. They'll let you know. Check your allergies. No, like I said, you have to know your body. But y'all that live in chronic pain, a combination of wild lettuce, willow bark tincture, and alcohol tincture, and cannabis, and you would never, ever have to take a pain pill again. And that's just the way it is. Please get off those man-made meds. Look to the mother for things other than just getting out to nature. It's your medicine, it's your health, it's your food, it's your water, it's your air, it's your life. It's our Mother Earth, and she provides and she cures. So think about that. Other than that, I want y'all to eat well, be well, think about your health, do what you can, combine things if you need to, or find out what works for you. But there is things out there that's better than what man offers. In fact, he stole this and just turned it into a chemical. That's why you got them ratty ass aspirin. So think about that. I love y'all. Be well, eat well, and don't live in fear.